In 1770, Bengal, one of the richest and most fertile regions of India, faced a disaster so devastating that millions of lives were lost. Yet, this tragedy is barely remembered in world history. This is the story of the forgotten famine of Bengal. Bengal was known as the granary of India. Its rivers, lush fields, and thriving trade made it one of the wealthiest regions in the world. Cities bustled with markets, crafts, and vibrant culture. Life seemed prosperous and full of promise. But beneath this wealth, vulnerabilities were growing. The famine struck due to a combination of natural disasters. A severe drought followed by crop failures led to a sharp decline in food production. Rivers that usually brought life-giving water dried up, and the monsoon rains failed to arrive. Farmers watched helplessly as their fields turned to dust. Without food, entire communities began to suffer. Yet, nature alone did not cause this tragedy. The policies of the British East India Company, which controlled Bengal at the time, worsened the situation. The company continued to collect heavy taxes, even as the people starved. Grain was exported to Europe for profit, while local populations went hungry. Those who could not pay taxes lost their land, homes, and sometimes even their lives. The human suffering was unimaginable. Eyewitness accounts from that time describe entire villages emptied of life. Families abandoned their homes, walking for miles in search of food, only to find more death and misery along the way. Children were sold, parents perished, and streets were filled with corpses. Hunger was everywhere, leaving nothing untouched. Estimates suggest that between 10 and 15 million people, nearly one-third of Bengal's population, died during this famine. Think about that, a third of the population wiped out in a single catastrophe. Entire communities vanished, traditions and knowledge were lost, and the social fabric of the region was torn apart.
Critics of the time accused the East India Company of negligence and deliberate indifference. Many argued that the company valued profit over human life. Grain continued to be exported even as children starved to death, and merchants made fortunes while millions suffered. The famine also left long-lasting consequences. It weakened the region economically, disrupted agriculture, and caused migrations that changed Bengal's demographics. Families who survived carried trauma and poverty for generations. The famine even fueled early resistance against British rule, planting seeds for later movements seeking independence. Despite the scale of the tragedy, the famine received little attention outside India. History books and global records often mention battles, rulers, and empires, but the lives of ordinary people who suffered in Bengal were mostly forgotten. It is a reminder that history is not just about empires and wars, but also about the millions whose stories are hidden in the shadows. The forgotten famine of Bengal teaches us that disasters are rarely caused by nature alone. Human greed, mismanagement, and indifference can turn a natural crisis into an unimaginable catastrophe. It is a story of suffering, resilience, and a stark warning of what happens when profit is valued above humanity. Even today, the scars of that famine linger in the memories of families and in the culture of Bengal. Remembering it is not just about honoring the past, but about understanding the importance of compassion, justice, and responsible governance. This dark chapter of history reminds us that while we celebrate the achievements of civilizations, we must also acknowledge the tragedies that shaped them. The forgotten famine of Bengal is a haunting story of human loss, one that deserves to be remembered and reflected upon.